Hey, what's going on guys, it's FPL Yusuf here and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys my Game Week 23 transfer plans video. In this one we're going to cover how we got on in Game Week 22. Obviously we still have one more game to play, so I'll show you guys what my team is so far looking like. I'll go over what my transfer plans are for this coming game week, and then we'll take a quick look at what my team is also lined up for early on this week for Game Week 23 as well. So I do hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And as always, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, welcome back guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today on my YouTube channel for another video. So let's take a quick little look at how we got in Game Week 22. Now we still have one more game to play tonight, being Monday, but all my team has finished. We finished between Saturday and Sunday. So let's take a quick little look at how they got on. We finished on 41 points overall, which for how the game week's been, it's not too bad. We did get a green arrow up to about 579k. That probably will drop a little bit as we have no one playing tonight, but overall it's been a solid game week. We'll start off in goal first. Donnarumma. This guy, I can't even with this man. Like, some weeks he's brilliant, other weeks he's terrible, and I think just for the price that I paid for him, he's at 5.6, 5.7 million. I just don't think it's worth it. I am looking to wildcard probably next week, which means this coming game week 23, will be his last game week in my team, but only 2 points for him. The defense, however, really good. 2 8-pointers, a 5-pointer. Urian Timber did get himself booked, unfortunately, and we're going to have a little talk about him in the next section. Gabriel just continuing to do what he does best and just, clean sheet, bonus. And I think he really is an outside chance as a captain for most weeks now. And it sounds crazy to say that on a centre-back, but, with Arsenal's clean sheet record, with his goal threat potential, his bonus point potential, I think it really does mean that, he is a genuine captaincy option. Lewis Hall, again, another player who we got 8 points from, same thing, clean sheet, bonus points, we'll take that. Here's where it gets really bad. So between all 5 of the midfielders and both the strikers, not one attack in return. Declan Rice finished on 3 points. Bruno Guimaraes finished on 3 points. Morgan Rogers, how he didn't score in that game yesterday, I will never know. Only 2 points for him. Harry Wilson, again, disappointing, 2 points for him. And Antoine Semenyo, 2 points on his Man City debut in the Premier League as well. Erling Haaland, blank up front, 4 points for him. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin, of course, again, another blank for him as well. So real work to do in the midfield and the forward. Defence, obviously, doing really well. I had Chalobah on the bench with 8 points. I think a lot of people had a lot of points, sitting on their bench this week, unfortunately. So yeah, we're gonna have to address the midfield and the forward line. Defense is still ticking over nicely, so we'll take that. But overall, we're on a green arrow at this current time of me recording this, so we can't really complain too much. But let's just jump into what my transfers are looking like for Game Week 23. Okay, so I think this game week might actually end up being a bit of a boring one, and then I think there's more of a chance that I'm going to roll than do actually anything else. There's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, like I said, I am planning to wildcard in Game Week 24, which is next week. So if I am going to do that, it doesn't really seem me worth, making a transfer this week. The players that I'm looking to get rid of, if I am going to make a transfer though, first up will be Morgan Rogers, and he has been, somewhat disappointing since I bought him in. When I bought him in, he was on a real nice run. He's got, I think, 1 assist in the last 4 or 5 games, so really disappointing. He's getting chances, we saw in the game against yesterday, he had opportunities, but he's just not taking them. And I think for the money that I've got in the bank and the price that he's at, I can move up to someone, a little bit more prolific. So the options I'm looking at, obviously, first up is Cole Palmer. Now, 2 things with that. Number one, right now I haven't actually currently got the money to make that move, so I'd have to wait probably till next week when I wildcard. But also, it did look like Cole Palmer picked up a potential injury in that game as well. So we're going to have to wait and see on that one, because if that's the case and Palmer's going to be out, Enzo Fernandez looks like a basic lock. He's probably going to be playing that number 10 spot if Palmer's out, and also he'll be on penalties as well. Bruno Fernandes is the other option, but I just don't think that this game week is the right entry point for him. He's going away to Arsenal, who, top of the league, for goals conceded. So I don't really see the upside there for Bruno Fernandes, despite the fact that Man United looked very good against Manchester City. It's worth saying that they did look like they're a complete different team in the space of a couple of days, which is insane. The other players that I'm looking at is obviously Brian Mbeumo and Ahmad as well. Off the back of seeing how Man United play against Manchester City, I'm liking them finally as FPL picks. And I think, a double up of Man United midfield going forward, I actually don't think is the worst thing. If Mbeumo's going to play up front, then for me, that's someone that I'm definitely going to be looking at. But Ahmad seems to be getting the 90 minutes again, which is another big thing. And he's a cheaper option as well. So, yeah, for me, midfielders, Morgan Rogers would be my top priority to get rid of. Another potential change that I could make this week is moving Michael Keane out. Obviously, he's still suspended. Leeds at home was the one game that you'd want him for, but obviously he's going to miss that. The one player that I'm looking to bring is Nordi Mukiele. Now, it would only be for a short-term hold, and he'd probably just end up playing on my bench most weeks. But West Ham this week, then they have Burnley the following week. So, first 2 game weeks of bringing him in, he's got very good fixtures on paper. Sunderland actually got a very good defensive record across the season as well. So, yeah, I think if there's going to be any transfer that I make, it'll probably end up being Michael Keane, only because Palmer would be the midfielder that I want this week. Bruno Fernandes would be the midfielder I want next week, so it doesn't really seem me worth making a transfer there. I'd probably end up just making that Michael Keane to Nordi Mukiele for the next 2 weeks. So we'll have to wait and see. There is an outside chance as well. Got more. This is more so for next week than supposedly this week, but Mo Salah is back now, so I am interested to see how he's going to get back in. Obviously, Erling Haaland not really firing on all cylinders at the moment. Now, whether you'd want to sell him or not is a different question, but I think that, Salah, if he comes back and starts, ticking over and starts, getting back to the Salah we know, I think there's definitely an argument to be made about making the swap from Haaland to Salah, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But like I said, overall, probably going to end up rolling this week. If I do make a transfer, I'm probably more in line to move Michael Keane out than Morgan Rogers this week. Okay, so here's what my team is looking like for Game Week 23. So like I said, Donnarumma, if I do wildcard next week, this will be his last game in goal for me. Wolves at home. You'd imagine Man City would keep a clean sheet, but with how Manchester City have been playing over the last few weeks, I don't think we can guarantee it. So he's just going to stay in goal for now. It'll probably be his last game week in my team. We're going to go for the double Arsenal defence. I know Man United have looked really good, in that Man City game. They've looked rejuvenated. They've looked like more of a threat, but I just can't. There's no game that I wouldn't want to play the double Arsenal defence. There's no game that I did feel like, they couldn't keep a clean sheet in this. So, yeah, Gabriel and Timber will be starting. Trevor Chalobah currently is in my team. Obviously, he's going away to Crystal Palace, which on paper isn't... It's not amazing, but obviously Palace have got their own problems going on at the moment, which, may leave a bit of a distraction. Oliver Glasner, there's a whole lot of him in press conferences at the moment. Mateta's potentially looking like he's going to leave. Juventus are looking at him. So there's a whole host of issues around Crystal Palace at the moment, which is why I don't mind playing Trevor Chalobah. The midfield, I'm hoping that finally they're going to come back with some returns for us. It'll be the exact same midfield as we played last week. Declan Rice, Bruno Guimaraes, Harry Wilson, Morgan Rogers and Antoine Semenyo. Obviously, if I make certain transfers, if I move Michael Keane out, Morgan Rogers or Bruno Guimaraes, one of them two will probably come out, and then, Nordi Mukiele will come in. But other than that, that will be the midfield five as it was from the week before. Hopefully, we can see some attacking returns from them. And of course, up front, again, it will be the same thing. Erling Haaland. I've got a little bit of a choice to make between Jarrod Bowen and between Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin's going away to Everton. Jarrod Bowen's at home to Sunderland. So I think it's almost like a coin toss on that one. Obviously, if I bring in Mukiele, then I won't start Jarrod Bowen because I'll be backing him. But if I don't, then I think that's a 50-50 call between Bowen and Calvert-Lewin. Haaland will be my captain. Despite the fact he's got bad form, he is at home now to Wolves. And I just think on penalties, if there's any week that he's going to bounce back, it is this one. Despite the fact Wolves have actually looked a little bit better in recent weeks, I do think that obviously Man City should be expected favourites to win this game at the Etihad. So that's what my Game Week 23 team is looking like for this coming game week. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'll be back on Wednesday with an FPL challenge video. We'll do a little deep dive into how the team got on in previous game week and also what the challenge is for this coming game week. And then I'll be back Thursday evening / Friday morning with the final team selection video ahead of the Game Week 23 deadline as well. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I'll catch you guys next time.